Hey everybody, this is Stuart with Wine on the Diamond. Today I'm going to be reviewing the Orsi Family Wines Biancolella. It is a white grape from Italy, specifically the island of Ischia, and I've never had this grape varietal before. If I have, it's been a really long time. I'm talking about like WSET level 2, level 3 training back years ago. So I'm actually really interested to try this wine. Actually, this wine was actually sent to me from the winery. They're the guest for this week's Pink Society chat. So on Thursday at 8 p.m. Central on X, feel free to join us. Search hashtag Pink Society. And the theme is wine and Italian food. Taste of Italy. I mean, Italian food, wine. I hear they go well together. So join the chat and let's learn more about it. But in the meantime, let's take a look at this wine. All right, from a color standpoint, I'm going to give you a medium lemon, no artifacts, no cloudiness. All right, so the nose is medium. This wine kind of reminds me of a few different varietals. So it kind of has this like Pinot Grigio type note, giving it like red apple, a little bit of like a green pear. But then I also am getting what sort of reminds me of like a Viognier. I'm getting barely ripe apricot. There's also kind of like a honeysuckle type note. Yeah, it's just a very interesting play. Like I said, if I've had this varietal before, it's been way too long for me to remember. It's not something that I typically find in my grocery stores here in Texas. Also, the alcohol smells medium. And yeah, let's get to the taste. So you know how I told you it smells like a combination of like Pinot Grigio and Viognier? Well, that's also what it tastes like. So I'm kind of happy that my nose didn't steer my palate wrong there. But yeah, so it is medium body wine, medium alcohol. It's dry. It does have a medium plus intensity on the palate. And the reason why isn't because of those things that I detected first, like the apple and the pear. It actually falls into a little bit more of that Viognier aspect of it. So that florality on the palate really opens up. So that honeysuckle, it becomes much more intense. So does that apricot. The interesting thing there is that the apricot is not only like a barely fresh apricot, it also has like a slight bitter note to it. And I don't mean bitter as in like when you think dark chocolate bitter, or like when you have a wine that actually tastes like bitter, like it just doesn't taste good. It's just an interesting characteristic of that, because by the time that you notice that that apricot is presenting with a little bit of bitterness, the apple and the pear have rushed in, and you almost forget that it was bitter. It has this really interesting play on the palate. It also has a very slight unctuousness, not like I would say a Viognier has, where it actually can sometimes have a texturally oily note. This just kind of sticks to the palate a little bit more. And as a result, the finish is like a medium plus finish, almost on a long finish for a white wine. I mean, this thing has a lot. I took one sip, and I've been talking for a while now, including the little cuts that I had to edit here. I still have it on my palate. So, looking at the timestamp, I'm just going to say it's a long finish. I mean, this thing goes for a really long time for a white wine. And just as a reminder, the finish isn't just how long you taste parts of the wine, it's how long the pleasurable elements of the wine are. This thing goes forever. So this is a really long finish, which is nice because it's been a long time since I've had a wine that has a really long finish, and two, a white wine that has had a really long finish. So props there. Okay, so we need to see how it rates, so let's get to the blick. Balance, full point. This is a perfectly fine wine. No complaints here. Length, full point. You have a long finish, and it's been a long time also since I've given someone a full point for finish. So good job, Orsi Family Wines. In terms of intensity, medium on the nose, medium plus on the palate, so I'm going to give you half a point. And in terms of complexity, I'm not getting a ton of like secondary characteristics. I am getting blossom. I'm getting a little bit of like stone fruit. I'm getting some what's considered red fruit. So I am getting multiple grape clusters, so I'm going to go ahead and give you half a point here. So once you add everything up, you're a very good wine. Like I said, the finish on this wine is absolutely fantastic. That alone, compared with the fact that it's not a grape I get very often, and it's something that's kind of cool on the palate in terms of how all the different elements play together, I really feel like this is going to be a wine that I'm just going to say I'm going to enjoy a glass of it while editing, because it's one of those things where it's just, I think this wine is just kind of cool, and I'm interested to learn more about them this Thursday at the Pink Society chat. Anyway, this was Stuart with Wine on the Dime. If you like today's review, please like, subscribe, and comment. Have you had the Biancolella from Orsi Family Wines? I'd be interested to know if you have. Leave a comment below. And like I said multiple times already, 8 p.m. Central this Thursday, Pink Society chat on X. Search hashtag Pink Society, and then use the hashtag, and you're part of the party too. So drop on in, learn more about them, Italian food, and I'll see you there.